Hey everyone, this is Battery Blade and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be setting up both of these wall connectors to be power sharing off this NEMA 1450 outlet. And I'm also going to take this wall connector I have here and put it on a quick mount bracket. So that way I can take it on and off the wall like that so we can move spots or even take it camping with us because we're putting a NEMA 1450 pigtail on it. So that way we can power share these two connectors, and I'll show you how to commission the power sharing connectors and everything you need to know so that way you don't have to run more than one set of wires. In this video, I have something special for you. I've ordered my second Tesla wall connector Gen 3 so that way I can set it up in a dual power sharing setup so we can charge two electric vehicles on the same 50 amp circuit. Now let's get to the unboxing. Comes in a alright package, but this is pretty beat up, so I guess this is what you get on Amazon if you don't order it off the Tesla Walk website. The package seems a little bit beat up, but here on the inside you get a nice Tesla wall connector. Sort of reminds me a lot of Apple packaging. It has a little thank you note on it, but this is the main unit. As you can see, they do have the back plate on it, it looks like. This is the instruction manual. Make sure you do not throw this out because this has the QR code which can help you set up, and this connects you to the Tesla app, so you definitely need this because there's a QR code on it. So don't lose this guide. Now the next layer is underneath it. You can see we have a this is a longer cable than our previous one. It comes in 18 feet and 24 feet. We have the 24 foot on this one. Now here is our connector. They have it wrapped up. So we have two Tesla wall connectors, which will work with any electric vehicle past 2025. They'll all have the Tesla port. Like what we're doing is we have a Bolt, a Kia EV6, and a Tesla, and we'll use our two wall connectors to power share and charge all the cars. This Tesla wall connector has an 18-foot cord. I'm going to show you how we can swap out the 18-foot cord for a 24-foot cord. That way we can plug in our cars all the way at the end of our garage. Right now our 18-foot cord, it can only reach here, but our Kia's charge port, when we pull in, is all the way right here. So we're going to swap it out for this 24-foot cord Tesla wall connector unit, and then we're going to even swap them out so they can power share off the same NEMA 1450 outlet. I'm going to show you guys how to do all that. First step is you got to unscrew all the hex screws on it. Check that out. This is the empty Tesla, or this is the Tesla wall connector wire box. They sell this separately on their website. So you just unscrew it and you get a Tesla wall connector that looks like this. Now we just need to clip on the 24-foot cord. Now we're clipping on the 24-foot cable Tesla wall connector. It's easy as that, but the question is, will it work? Because I've seen, for whatever reason, people on Reddit have been having trouble with it, but I believe it's their user error and that there isn't any software board inside the wire box. They're doing something wrong.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, it should go into whatever decommission phase. See? Red, blink, green, yay. Now you might be wondering what we're going to do with this Tesla wall connector. That's a 18-foot cord. We have the back plate from our new box with all the screws. So we're going to screw this back plate into a 3D printed mount. So that way we can quickly put it on and off the wall, and we're going to pigtail it so it's a movable unit that you can take it off the wall with quick and easy gravity. And we're going to be able to move it from here to there to anywhere we want that we 3D print a mount, and there's a NEMA 1450 outlet, so you could even take it camping with you if you wanted to. But the spot that we're going to do it was we're going to put it for now next to this other unit, and we're going to use this one outlet to power share between both units. I'm now here with the 24-foot cord Tesla wall connector. Here I'm going to show you how it can reach any car in your garage, no matter what. So this is the wall connector you should get, and it's always the same price as the 18-foot cord that you can go around here. You can even plug it into the Tesla T logo, which this is good for any cars that don't have charging ports in the same spot as Tesla. Like you can almost plug in our Kia pulled in over here. Look, we can even plug in our Kia with the charge port at the furthest spot from the wall connector, going over our car a little bit, but we can probably put the cable to the side and it still fit. So now you can see the power of the 24-foot cable. And we're gonna put our 18-foot cord next to it on a movable mount.
But now, yeah, make all the demons quiet, yeah, we were built to thrive, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah, make all the demons
We are almost done with our installation. You see we've wired it up via NEMA 1450 pigtail, and we have this 3D printed back, so that way we can slide it in and out of our wall. Oops. Just like that. Pretty cool, I think so. Now it's time for the power sharing segment of our video. We're now plugging in. The way we're gonna power share these two connectors is we have a NEMA 1450 splitter. Wonder what I'm voicing over right now. Okay. So now our two connectors, our wall connectors are connected. Let's plug it in, see if we get power. Powered on. They both have green lights. That's what we like to see. So now I can set them up to power share. Let me show you how to do that. And now our two Tesla wall connectors are in configuration mode. You can see that because they have a blinking green light. Let's connect them to power sharing. So the way you do that is you connect to their Wi-Fi. There's a QR code on the front of the menu, which I scan that to get onto the wall connector's Wi-Fi. So I go over to my Wi-Fi, and if I scanned it, it should just pop up immediately. If not, I can click on the right one. I think I want this one to be the main one, so that's the C1. So now I'm connecting to that. So now here's the tricky part that I didn't really know at first, is you have to type your IP address into Google. So the easiest way to do that for me on my Samsung phone is to IP. How do I do this? There it is. So you can see your IP address. IP, I think I should have already gone onto it. Cut that. There we go. That's the correct IP address for us. Now we can see this is the menu that it brings you onto. So the first thing you do is you connect your Wi-Fi, you click on that, and you type in your Wi-Fi's details. Now, what we want to do is edit the circuit breaker. So we're in the United States, and our circuit breaker is on a 50 amp outlet. So we're going to click 50 amps, and now it's good like that. That means we could plug in a vehicle and charge right now. But we want to allow all vehicle charging, and now the main thing we want to do is enable Tesla power sharing. Then the next step is to add a wall connector, which you can scan the QR code on your quick start guide or enter it manually. You have to enter the name of the unit, which for ours is 82C9C3. The next step is a lot more tricky. You have to type in your wall connector's password, which is really easy if you have a quick start guide menu, or you have to contact service. and then they will email you your password. And we are loading in, and it did not work. Now the reason I just failed here is because I forgot to set the maximum power that both units can output. So for a 50 amp circuit, that is 80%, which is 40 amps. So make sure you don't put the amount your breakers can handle. You put 80% of what your breaker is for. And you can see we're scrolling through here. We have it disabled, now it's enabled, and both connectors cannot output more than 40 amps. So if they're both going, they can split the 40 amps intelligently over a Wi-Fi connection between the two. Here's how to add a Tesla wall connector to the app. You have to click in the top right corner on your icon. You go down to Manage Products, click Get Started. You scan the QR code. It will now allow you to scan the QR code on the Quick Start Guide menu, which again is why you need to keep this safe. For whatever reason, camera's having trouble focusing, but we can scan this. We can add this to the same site that we already have a Tesla wall connector connected to. Now, I feel like it might be best to add it to a new site, just that way you can see both at once, as you'll see later on in this video. Now we're giving it a software update. That is one of Tesla wall connector's best features, is that it does have the Wi-Fi enabled, so that way it can get software updates, and hopefully in the future support Cybertruck power to home, which currently is only supported with the universal wall connector. I'm hoping that they will carry that over to the Gen 3 units, because the hardware looks the same, but maybe the looks are deceiving. I'm crossing my fingers that I'll be able to get a software update that will allow it to work with the Cybertruck just as well as the universal Tesla wall connector. Now take this moment to like and subscribe. Now let me show you what the app looks like with two Tesla wall connectors in it. As you can see, the app only shows one wall connector at a time. It will show just one connector as idle. If you plug in either connector to a Tesla, it will show your Tesla plugged in. And if you plug in a electric vehicle and a Tesla at the same time, it will always show the Tesla. If you don't have a Tesla plugged in, it will just show the electric vehicle. So that's kind of interesting, and that's why I was saying it might be best to, if the Tesla app allows it, have two home setups. That way you can always see exact power each electric vehicle is getting, because it will only show one at a time. Now let's jump into this section of the video that you've all been waiting for, where we try it out, and I can show you what the Tesla and other electric vehicles say on their display and how the connectors actually split the power. Now I'm here with my two Tesla wall connectors. I'm showing you the power sharing setup. We have a 50 amp outlet, which can provide 40 amps continuous. So our Tesla wall connectors can split it in half to 20 and 20. So let's check out the two cars that are charging. We have our Tesla Model 3 and our Chevy Bolt EV. Right now, the Tesla and Bolt are both charging. The Tesla is charging at 20 amps. Look what happens to the Tesla screen when I unplug the Bolt. Unplug the Bolt, so now the Tesla can get full power up to 32, because that's the maximum of its onboard charger. Now if I plug the Bolt back in, look what happens with the Tesla screen. The Tesla got sent down all the way to 20. Now let's check out the Bolt screen. If we have the Bolt the Bolt and the Tesla are both plugged in at the same time, the Bolt is getting 4 kilowatts. Now, if we unplug the Tesla or the Tesla finished charging, it goes all the way up to 7 kilowatts of power. So it is a very cool thing that we are sharing power between them all on one circuit. So we only had to run one power circuit. And we can do this with any set of electric cars. This would be much cooler if I was showing this off with our EV6 that has a 9.6 kilowatt, or it has 11 kilowatt hour onboard charger. Speak of the devil. Now let's move on to the next clip where I try it out with the Kia EV6 and see the full power of this setup. And I'm here with both electric cars here. This is the EV6 with a 9.6 kilowatt onboard charger. so we can charge at full power when it's just plugged in. And we have our Tesla Model 3, which can charge at 7.8 kilowatts. So let's see what happens if we just have the Tesla plugged in. Right now, the Tesla is charging at 5 kilowatts when the Kia EV6 is plugged in, and it's charging at 21 amps. It will take 7 hours and 30 minutes to get to full. Now, if we unplug the EV6, what will it take? So we unplug the EV6, it goes from 7 hours and 15 minutes all the way down to 5 hours and 5 minutes left to charge, and it will charge at 32 amps, which is the maximum it can do. Now let's plug back in the Kia. Okay, now that the Kia is plugged back in, the charging time is climbing and the amps went down all the way to 20 amps only. And you can see the charging time is climbing. So you can see with the Kia plugged in, we're back up to it taking a very long time to charge the Tesla, but still under 10 hours. Or so it stopped at 7 hours. So when the Kia is plugged in, the Tesla gets apparently 22 amps now. Wow, it must get a priority if the EV6 is taking up full amps. Probably because it requests for less amps when it first plugs in. But still, 22, 21, okay, it's going down. So the Tesla wall connectors intelligently split the power over the Wi-Fi. And when one finishes charging, the other will charge faster. Now let's take a look at the EV6. Okay, with the Tesla charging, the Kia gets 4.6 kilowatts of power, and so it gets about 20 amps. Now if we unplug the Tesla, how much will the Kia get? Wow, the Kia just immediately climbs up to 9.3 kilowatts of power. And the charge time went down all the way to 4 hours and 5 minutes. So just cut in half, just like that. So this simulates if the Tesla finished charging. Now let's plug back in the Tesla and see how fast it goes. See what happens if we plug in the Tesla. Cuts our charging power in half like that, boom. Now I'm gonna demonstrate one more feature I just learned about. So the Tesla wall connector, if you have two vehicles plugged in, it doesn't just split them in half. If one of your vehicles, for whatever reason, can't take full power, like so 40 amps split in half to 20 amps, will give each vehicle 20 amps. But if for whatever reason, one of the vehicles can't handle 20 amps and it only requests for like 10, your other vehicle will get the other full 30 amps. So the Tesla wall connectors are smart enough to do that. So let's say you have a plug-in hybrid that only requests 2 kilowatts, it will give the other 7 kilowatts to the EV6 instead of locking it and only giving the EV6 4 and reserving 2 kilowatts for the plug-in hybrid that can never actually take 2 extra kilowatts extra to make it 4 and 4. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. Let me demonstrate. So we set the charger down to 5 amps on our Tesla to simulate a plug-in hybrid charging. Might only request for 5 or 10 or even 12 amps, but that's less than the half, which is 20 amps. So if we go over to the Kia gets the extra power. Now charging at 7 kilowatts to make up for the extra power, gets extra power when you derate the car next to you. So if you have a slow charging vehicle and don't want the charger to split all your power in half, it will give the slow charging vehicle as much power as it can handle as long as it's less than half, and then give your other car the extra power that it can't handle, assuming your car can handle more power. So I just thought that's a really cool feature. But the interesting thing is that it's a pretty slow feature. So unlike plugging in and out a vehicle, it's not quite immediate. You see, our Tesla, even though I have it set for 5 amps, I set it to 5 amps like 10 minutes ago, and it's only made its way down to 8. So let me go back into the app and fix it and show you how long it takes to go back all the way up to 20 amps. I now set the Tesla for the maximum it will allow me at the moment is 8, because the Kia is borrowing it. but I'm guessing it will start to derate the Kia by another amp, which will then allow me to raise the Tesla's thing. So it's slowly, little by little. So for a second we were at 7.5 because the Kia got a few extra amps, but now we're at 7.2. So the Kia is slowly ramping down in power, and as the Kia ramps down in power, the Tesla will allow you to raise its power. So it's almost like a buffer. You can immediately drop your car's power to the Tesla's power to 5 amps, and it will slowly charge the Kia less, or it will slowly charge the Kia more and more and make up for the Tesla's buffer. But you can't just immediately take away all that charge from the Kia unless you unplug it, of course, to reset it. But if you don't unplug it, it will take a few minutes and you'll keep having to readjust it back. So now let's see what the Tesla's charging at. Charging at 9 amps, you see. So I didn't actually touch anything or raise the limit. So now it's 10, and now the Tesla's charging at 10. Okay, so you don't actually need to manually do it. The Tesla apparently will. But so yeah, now the Tesla's charging at 10 amps. So yeah, it seems like every minute it raises it by an amp or so. Or unplugging the Tesla and replugging it in itself also resets it to 20. So anything you do will reset the Tesla to 20 if it involves unplugging or replugging it. But don't be afraid to get a plug in a slow charging EV. It won't clog up the system. So in conclusion, the Tesla power sharing works very well with 2 vehicles, and I think is a great option that if you have one Tesla wall connector, you should get a second if you have another electric vehicle. That way you can power share off the same circuit, save a lot of money off not having to install another outlet or anything like that. So I think that it's a great idea to use your Tesla power sharing. And if you need a service upgrade for your house because you're limited to only 100 amps and only afford to have one 40 amp EV SC, even 40 amps is enough to share between 2 vehicles, in my opinion. Just because you'll get that extra power compared to if you limited only 2 chargers at half the speed all the time compared to 2 chargers at half the speed some of the time and the full power some of the time. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Like and subscribe. See y'all later. Bye.